Hi everyone, welcome back to Mad About Cards and Crafts and another Team Tiny blog hop. To hop along with the other creators, please click on the hashtag TeamTinyGrateful in the description box below, and that will take you to the other participants in the hop. If you like their videos, please subscribe, and we will move on to today's card. So I am using products from the Greetery. The first stencil here is called Fur and Foliage number 1, and I have found a new way to line up stencils. I took a page out of the Tailored Expressions handbook. They have a sentiment set, several now, that you stamp out, and then there's 2 squares on the side, so that is what you line your die up with to cut them out perfectly. So for the stencil, I decided to put 2 hole punches on the left and right side of the stencil after I lined all 3 layers up, and that allows me a place to line the stencil up. Instead of trying to figure out where these stencils are supposed to go on this abstract portion of the tree, I just use those hole marks and it gets me where I need to be quickly. So this first layer I use Stampin' Up! Sahara sand, and this second layer I am going to use crisp Cantaloupe, and I'm going to put it on pretty heavy-handedly. I enjoy using my Stampin' Up! Inks. I have found that I have quite a few of the colors, probably most of them, and they are still very, very moist, and they work quite well and give me great coverage. So I decided that I would use them for this particular process. I'm using a blender brush that I got off of Amazon to get the coverage that I want, and then I will also continue to use it with the next layer, which will be more of the accent or detail to the tree. And these create very clean and simple cards. They come together really quickly, which is one of the things that I really like about this. I'm going to warn you about this video. For some reason, I really struggled with it. I struggled with not being on screen, being off screen with some of my stamping, so I did cut some of that out. I lost some footage by not hitting the record button, and I didn't want to redo the whole thing. So I made it work. I promise that my video editing skills and filming skills will get better as time goes on, but it is what it is. So now I'm taking Calypso Coral and I'm filling in some of the tree. I went ahead and added some of this Watermelon Wonder because I just thought that the Calypso Coral and the Watermelon Wonder together just made a more vibrant backdrop to that crisp cantaloupe. I did miss the middle of the tree. I didn't miss it. I was thinking I was going to leave it, and then I didn't like the look of it, but I missed that branch to the right. So look at how quickly I'm realigning this. There's no, it doesn't take any time. It's super easy to do, and that is something that I really like about this. I am going to show you the finished card, and then the next card that I am going to create, and that is where some of this footage is just a little bit off, so I apologize. That first card, I finished it up using Papertrey ink Berry Sorbet as a matte, and then I put both of those onto a card base, which was Nina Solar White 110-pound cardstock. And I did stamp the sentiment with Calypso Coral and that came from another Greetery set, which is Sentiment Sweet Thank You. Now I'm using the Greetery Just Mason Around stamp, and I am going to ink this base up with Saffron, and I will stamp it a couple of times. The reason I stamp it twice is because I really wanted a deep amber color. And I find that I did use the die for the mason jar, and I find that if I die cut it first and then I place it inside the negative space, that it's easier for me to stamp. So see, I get that beautiful amber color, and now I'm going to go on to the second layer, which is more of an accent layer, and I just line up pretty much the left side of the jar is how I figure out where the placement should be on this one, and I'm going to stamp it 3 times with Delightful Dijon. And one more time. And then I'm going to add the third layer, which is going to be stamped with, I'm sorry, that second layer was Daffodil Delight. I don't know why, I think I said Delightful Dijon. This layer is Delightful Dijon. This is the stronger of the 3 yellows. And I line up the word fresh because this is actually going to be the filler to that. So again, this is stamped in the Delightful Dijon, and it gives you just a really deep color. I really like that. And then I'm going to move on to the stenciling, and I'm going to be using the stencil from the Greetery Mason Jar Filler. I'm going to start with the twigs on that, which is going to be in the Sahara sand. And I don't know if I mentioned, I think I did, but I'll just repeat it if not. I am using Nina Solar White 80-pound cardstock to stencil on. So I just wanted to make sure that the stencil was in the place that I wanted it to be so that that mason jar was going to fit. The panels have been cut down to 4 by 5 1/4 so that I can mat them. I forgot to add my circles. Need those to line up the rest of it. And this one is a 4-layer stencil. Betsy Veldman is the owner of the Greetery, and if you haven't checked her out, please do so. I'll leave a link in the description box below. Not only is she very talented, but her stamps and dies are just going to be timeless pieces. I mean, they are just beautiful and they are classic. And there is no other besides Gina K. Gina K has fantastic products, and she also has exceptional customer service, and that is one of the things that I love about Betsy. When I order from her, my order is typically shipped within 24 hours, and I have it really quickly, and her products are just, again, exceptional. So I'm going to use that Delightful Dijon again, and I'm going to fill in, these are more like, I don't know, like kind of like wheat pieces. And so I'm going to add that. And I want to thank all of my new subscribers. I got several over the past week. I want to thank you very much for subscribing. You have no idea how much I appreciate knowing that you're taking time out of your day to watch my videos. And I am going to have a giveaway shortly for my subscribers, a small little thank you for subscribing to my channel. And so if you haven't already subscribed, please do so, and within the next few days, I will put that giveaway up. So now I thought that this Lost Lagoon would be a pretty addition to the neutral colors that I've already used and add a little pop to it. And that is what I'm doing here, is putting that onto, I believe they're leaves on this portion of the stencil. And then the last portion I will, the last layer I will add, I believe it's Cajun Craze, and it's more of a rusty color, so it's going to give it a nice fall feel. This is the final layer, lining up those circles. There we go. If you have any questions, please leave it in the description box below. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you might have. I would encourage you to explore. I know Altenew has some layering stencils, and there's some other companies out there that do as well, and some people shy away from them. I would urge you to explore, you know, using them, because see how quick and easy it is. Once you line them up and put those holes in it, it's super easy to use, and you don't have to worry about the frustration of where does this go or where does that go. Just line those holes up and you're going to get a beautiful product every time. So there is the finished piece. Actually, there was a twig, and you see how easy I lined that up again. There was a twig that I thought needed to be a little bit darker, so I'm going to add a little more Sahara sand, and now I'm going to add that mason jar. So actually first I'm going to erase this, and I have only a Tombow mono sand eraser. I do not have a regular eraser in my house, which is crazy. So I had to use my sand eraser, and now I'm going to add that mason jar. So this is a very simple card. I did not, the only thing that I popped up on this was the sentiment. And off screen, as I said, I actually stamped this off screen, so I didn't include it. But that ribbon is part of the mason jar, or mason around stamp set. I stamped it in Lost Lagoon, and now I'm looking where I want to put the sentiment. Again, I'm going to stamp it off screen and cut it down. I'm going to pop it up on some pop dots and add it to the card. That background that's outlining that panel is Fired Brick from Gina K Design. I did pop up the panel on this card with the tree, so that is popped up with Fen Foam. And that's a look at the first card, and then I'm going to show you the second card finished. There you go. So thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you soon, and until next time, have a great day. Thank you so very much for watching, and I hope you hop along with the other crafters. Thank you.